Hello, everybody, and welcome to ZTV Live. Today is Thursday, May 28th, and I'm Susan Mulligan Fleischman, and happy that you're here with us. I'm pleased to let you know that tonight's show is sponsored in part by Murphy's Grand Irish Pub on King Street in Old Town Alexandria. Order online for curbside pickup or delivery. Zebra viewers get a 20% discount through May 31st. Check out Murphy's new mini market also, where you can get fresh meats and seafood, their famous shepherd's pie, and some of their delicious Bloody Mary mix. We're also sponsored by Dishes of India in the Bellevue Shopping Center in Alexandria. Dishes of India is winner of the Zebra Reader's Choice Award for Best Indian Food. Check their website for daily specials at dishesofindia.com. Mention the Zebra ad for 15% off your order. And Mama's Kitchen and EVOO at Mama's Market on Fordson Road in Alexandria. A delicious menu of Mediterranean cuisine is available for curbside pickup and delivery, and EVOO at Mama's Market carries a wide variety of oils, vinegars, pastas, and much more. Zebra viewers get 15% off orders. Thank you so much to our wonderful sponsors for helping us bring tonight's show to you. Tonight on our show, I'm excited to introduce you to Mari Coelho, a small business owner who teaches children how to cook. Stay tuned to meet Mari and her daughters and learn how to make green hummus on the show tonight. But first, we're welcoming our publisher and grand poobah in the Zebra Enterprise, Mary Wadland. Mary is also the catalyst for the wildly popular Alexandria Curbside Dining Group on Facebook, with more than 7,000 members already. Mary, welcome to the show.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for having me on the show that's now yours.
Well, it's ours, let's say.
You're doing a great job. Everybody loves you. And thank you for everything you're doing, because it's a lot of work.
Thank you. It's fun to do, and I'm really happy to do it, but I'm thrilled to have you on tonight.
Well, as I said, I'm glad to be here. So fire away. If you got any questions for me, I'm ready.
Okay, I do have a question for you. I understand that in that curbside dining group, you conducted a poll the other day.
We conducted our very first poll because that's sort of a captive target audience for the Alexandria dining community. Sort of the foodies of Alexandria have found that location. And we started that just on April 1st. Mm-hmm. And here we are, May 28th. That's not even a full 2 months. And we've got 7,200 members as of today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the crazy thing is that most of those members are wait a minute. I got to turn down my volume. Okay. So anyway, we thought, what better place than to do a poll right in there? And so we asked some questions, and I think you've got the results.
I do have the results. And so was the first question, are you ready to sit down at a table and order again?
Yeah, that was the first question. Are you ready to sit down and but I don't have the numbers in front of me. I sent them over to you.
I have them in front of me, and they might be on the screen right now. But of that, are you ready to sit down? 66.3% said no, and 33.7% said yes. So about 2/3 to 1/3. Not everybody's really quite ready yet. But the opening up is really in its infancy stages right now.
That's right, and that's probably what the restaurants are sort of hoping for too, because they don't want, hordes and hordes jumping in on there. But I think if a third of that group is going to be actively participating in the new outside dining experiences that, thank goodness, the Alexandria City Council just passed, that these restaurants that can serve outside, that have applied for the application, however that procedure goes, they're allowing tables to go on the sidewalks outside the restaurants and into adjacent parking lots. Junction Bakery, for example, today, they've got a beautiful parking lot off of Mount Vernon Avenue, and they're going to be putting tables out there. The 100 block of King last weekend, for the first time, divided itself down the middle. The city did. On one side, it was pedestrians only, and they put up barriers, like sort of like Jersey walls down the middle.
Steel dividers.
Yeah, they kept the pedestrians on one side, and then the other side was so they're going to have those tables go out into that, and then pedestrians can walk sort of in the street. But then there's still going to be cars available on part of King Street to pick up curbside. So I think it's the best of both worlds, because the 2/3 that don't want to go back out to eat are going to be able to still do curbside. The restaurants are still doing curbside. They're anxious for you to order as much as you possibly can. And don't forget that they also serve alcohol and cocktails. So ask if you want a really cool cocktail or bottle of wine. They might be able to give you that too. So anyway, 2/3.
That is really, that's great. And then speaking of the curbside, another question you asked was how many times a week are people ordering curbside right now? And it looks like almost half the people are doing it at least 2 times a week, which is a pretty high number. Granted, it is the target audience, and it's the group that is highly engaged in dining already, curbside dining. So, but still, that's promising. Almost 30% are doing it 1 time a week. And 20% are doing it 3 or more times a week. And really only under 4% of the people said never. So that's fantastic. That's a lot of engagement. Yeah. Right.
And that, so I thought that was interesting too. And it really shows the participation of our community too, because I have seen a lot of comments that were on that post. There was no place to comment on the survey itself, but people were able to comment where the survey was posted. And a couple of people wanted me to make a note of the fact that if it weren't for the COVID and it weren't for the desire to help these small businesses, they would not be going out. But they're showing their families that what they're doing as a family is helping. It's a trickle up effect. They're going out and buying their food from the neighborhood restaurant because they might play with the kids of the owner of that restaurant. And they know that, Johnny's dad is working hard. So we're out there to help Johnny's dad and Johnny's mom. And the community's really come together. And I'm so proud to be a part of it and proud to own Zebra and that we're able to keep on delivering good news. And we help the restaurants this way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, it's a mutually beneficial setup, and it does remind you of what a small town Alexandria really is, and what a tight-knit community that it really is, which is great. And then you went to a kind of the people feeling safe going into the restaurants or not. If the restaurant passes the new Alexandria Health Department's ALX Promise standards, which you mentioned earlier, would you feel safe to eat there? And that was kind of a split decision again. Not sure. Most of the people not sure yet. And then it was split about 30% each between yes and no, that they would or wouldn't feel safe. And again, I think that probably speaks to just that it's just so soon, and people just don't really know what it's all going to look like yet.
Right. That's right. And I think that's kind of typical. I think what people expect. So you're going to have to try it. And just let everybody know who doesn't know, who might be listening. Alexandria, the Alexandria Health Department has put in place something called ALX Promise, ALX Promise. And it's a set of guidelines that businesses need to follow in order for them to be considered safe places to go. All businesses, not just restaurants, but retail businesses too. And the health departments, we just did an interview with the city and the health department. And just before I came on, I got the answers to some questions. Number one, there's over 200 businesses have already signed up for this.
That's fantastic.
And when they get the stamp of approval, you remember the old Good Housekeeping seal?
Yeah.
This is going to be the ALX stamp of approval that, it's safe to go in there. It's safe to eat there. It's safe to shop there. And that's a great thing. And there are 7 of them have already gotten their decal. It's not an easy thing. It's not like you just call up, oh, I want a decal. No, they have to go through, and the health department has to approve it. And they'll be doing spot checks, and it's going to be serious business. So we hope that everybody
there's certainly, you can imagine all the businesses and the restaurants are motivated to, pass these tests and make sure that they're meeting all the metrics necessary to get that passing grade. Because, let's face it, everybody wants to be open for business again in a safe way, in a safe way. So, and then speaking, just getting back to the two final questions in the poll, one was, if the employees are wearing masks, would you feel comfortable being inside? And I would imagine that mask wearing is a part of some of those steps that they were going to have to implement before they pass the test. Right. If the employees are wearing masks, 45% of the respondents said yes, they would feel safe going into a business or a restaurant.
One question I didn't ask that people commented on, I didn't think to ask it. They said, I have no problem with the restaurant. I have no problem with the restaurant. A lot of them said, I'm worried about the other diners.
Yeah.
Are the other diners going to be wearing masks? So I guess the message I'd like to share with anybody watching, please wear your mask. It's not just for you that you're putting it on. You're putting it on so that other people, you're not giving your germs to someone else.
Right.
People think they're putting the mask on so that they won't catch somebody's germs. But guess what? How about your germs? Yeah. So put the mask on, just knock it off, start matching your clothes and be cool and get with the program.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's a safe way. And the more that people wear the mask, the more the business can come back. So everything is related.
Every time I go out, my friend says, do you have your mask? And I go, oh, I got to run back in the house and get it. So now I make sure I've got masks in the car, so, you just have them everywhere.
Yeah. Just like readers, right?
Yeah.
Have a mask in
soon, everywhere. I would like to announce we will be having zebra masks, which will be available for a nominal fee, and they will be free if you sign up for a at-home mail subscription of the newspaper.
That's fantastic.
So those are coming soon, within the next 2 weeks.
Oh, I love that. I'll definitely be signing up for that.
And from an Alexandria-made company, by the way, which I will share all of that the night that those become available. Big exciting news.
That's very exciting news, and I love that. That's great. I love the more local business, the better. And then the final question you asked was, how long do people want the curbside to continue? And I found that this was really interesting. 84% of people want curbside to continue through the summer. Right. It was by far the most popular answer. Obviously, 2 weeks or a month. Another 15% voted for that. And I did notice that some restaurants were kind of chiming in, saying, we're going to offer it, every way. We'll have, dine in, we'll have curbside, we'll have pickup. So, right. The restaurants are motivated again to meet people where they are, which I think is, not a big surprise. They want the business.
Right. So it's all good news.
Good. It really is all good news. Maybe we'll take this poll again. Will you run the poll again in another?
Yes, and I had people ask. People like the poll. We had over 514 people answered the poll in a quick matter of 48 hours. A lot of people, I said, look, we'll do it again. We'll do it again because people had questions they wanted me to add to another poll. And so I will report back on my upcoming poll results.
Excellent. And I know that you have big news. Speaking of the zebra masks coming with a subscription to the zebra print edition, yes. Do you have some news?
I happen to have some news.
Yeah. What is it?
Well, we will be putting out the June edition, the print edition. It comes out Monday, June 8th.
Yay.
And we are right now in the throes of it, and we've got, it's crazy. We suspended print for March and April because of safety reasons for the whole community. We didn't think it was good to be throwing papers out in plastic bags all over the place and getting our delivery people out there and interfacing with everybody. So we took a break, gave the advertisers a break too, so they could save their money for the new Rebounding with Great Strength Zebra that is coming out June. With a great cover. It's a surprise cover. I'm not going to tell that either. But okay. We are also, the big news on that is we're putting out more newspaper boxes. We have about 75 on the street already, the old-fashioned pull-it newspaper boxes, which are all free, by the way. There's no quarter required. But we've had a lot of requests in these past 2 months. Hey, we'd like a box in our neighborhood. Hey, we want a box by this bus stop. Hey, we want a box on this block. So Yates Automotive, which happens to own a auto body collision place at 510 North Fayette, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's Yates. It used to be the Old Town Auto Body. It is now Yates Collision. They reconditioned the boxes for us. They're beautiful. They're red with white interiors. And we have a long list of requests, and we're going to be getting those out this weekend.
That's
fantastic. And then the other thing is we're not going to be doing as much free delivery, throwing it on the streets anymore, because we're going to be mindful of the environment. This COVID thing has really given us a chance to reassess how we do things. We've been around for 10 years now. And if you want the paper, I think you'll go find it, or you'll ask us to have it sent to you by mail. So we are starting a real big campaign for the mail subscriptions. You can get it in your mailbox from now on. It'll be your copy. You won't have to scramble to go find one. Mm-hmm. And you can just go to thezebra.org/subscribe and sign up for your home copy. And we hope that you will, and that you will support us.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Well, that's really great news. I'm so excited that the print edition is coming back again. I think a lot of people have missed it, and so
and your section below the Beltway is in there. We've got a lot of demand for that. We're putting more boxes down below the Beltway. In the Mount Vernon area, Route 1, and 2 more boxes are going in at Holland Hall. Another box at Bellevue. So they're
and I think one down here on Elkin Street by the 7-Eleven and the Fort Hunt Animal Hospital, right? So that's great. That's right. A lot of commuters walk by there to go over and take the bus or to go up to work in the morning. So I think that's going to be a popular location. Right. And kudos to Yates. Boy, they're everywhere, and they do everything. They're just they've really huge community supporters in so many different ways. So I'm so happy to hear that they were helping you out. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they did indeed. Yeah.
Terrific. So, well, Mary, it's really been great chatting with you. Was that all your news?
I have one last thing. I know you guys are ready to see the cooking segment, because I know it's going to be really great, and I'm sorry to take up so much time. But right before we were coming on, I literally have a This Just In report. Agenda Alexandria, which we are a media sponsor for. That's the group in town that normally meets. They normally have a meeting once a month to discuss hot topics. Because of the COVID crisis and quarantining and social distance, they did the last one virtually. And they had a really, really popular segment. They had quite a few people tuning in. They're doing it Monday, June 1st at noon. That's on the Agenda Alexandria Facebook page. And if you would, I'd like to tell you literally, it's just in. Mm-hmm. The topic is taking care of our mental health and families during coronavirus. Learn about the efforts regarding essential mental health services and resources to help take care of yourself, your family, and your community. The COVID-19 pandemic is creating a level of unprecedented uncertainty. Fear and anxiety about the disease can be overwhelming for many, which may result in significant and lasting impacts on the mental health of Alexandria residents. So how can we better support our community? What can we do? What's the capacity for the city to handle all the mental health needs? And really, don't be afraid to go and ask for help, because the city of Alexandria is prepared and has many different things in motion. So the panelists are going to be Kate Garvey from the city of Alexandria. She's going to talk about those services that are available for residents and the accessibility. And the other panelist is Mai Trin, who is a clinical social worker and therapist, who is going to be talking about strategies for families that are coping with mental issues in the family. I mean, there's a lot of people stressing out that normally wouldn't even stress out, but they are stressing out. Mm-hmm. So this is what's great about Alexandria. I mean, it's here for you. And then the last panelist is Dr. Rachel Noble. She's director of therapeutic programs at Inova Hospital, and she's going to be talking about the mental health capacity, the systems that are in place, and all the different things that can happen. So if you're interested in being a part of that, watching that, you RSVP agendaalexandria.org and be on the lookout for the Facebook live stream, or tweet your question to hashtag COVID-19ALX. Again, it's hashtag COVID19ALX. Hashtag COVID-19 Alex. So we wish Agenda Alexandria good luck, and we will most likely try to share that when it is streaming, so that if you can't find it anywhere else, you might be able to find it on the Zebra Press Facebook page.
Hey, well, that's a great update and very timely news. Thank you. And we just covered these topics last night in ZTV Live with we had Rolly Diaz, our psychologist, and Cindy Diaz, the school social worker, just talking about how great the need is and how intensified everybody is really needing these services now. So I'm so glad that Agenda Alexandria is addressing that, and I think they're probably going to get a lot of people tuning in.
Yes, they will. So thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to the rest of the show.
Mary, you're always welcome.
I'm glad.
Yeah, great to see you, and thank you so much for coming on.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, well, it's always great to hear from Mary. We really do love it when she comes and graces us with her presence. So we're about to get to Mari Coelho, but I just wanted to give you some local, very good news from Fairfax County Libraries first. Beginning June 1st, curbside pickup of holds and grab bags will be available from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday at all Fairfax County Public Library branches except for the Lorton Library. Visit the FPL website for detailed instructions for the contactless pickup procedure. They'll also accept returns via the book drops only beginning June 1st on a staggered basis, alphabetically according to the borrower's last names. Again, just check the FCPL website for all the details. And Giant Foods grocery stores have announced a reopening plan detailed in a letter from their president, Ira Kress. The reopening plan begins June 1st, and you can read his letter in full on the zebra.org website. And in fact, bookmark the zebra.org website to stay on top of all the local good news everywhere. And now, finally, I'm so happy to introduce our very patient guest, Mari Coelho of Together We Cook. Mari, thank you so much for your patience, and welcome to ZTV Live.
Hi, Susan. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks, Mary and David, and the Zebra Press for having me here today. I really appreciate it. And I have Julia here with me. She's 9, and a little later on, I'm going to have Cecilia, who's 4. She's going to help us in the hummus making part.
Oh, fantastic. Hi, Julia. Welcome to ZTV Live. We're so happy to have you here.
Hi.
Mari, why don't you begin by telling us a little bit about yourself and how Together We Cook began?
Sure. So I'm originally from Brazil. You'll notice a little accent there. I've lived in the U.S. for about 13 years, so 12 of those here in Alexandria. And my previous career was in law. I used to work as a lawyer in São Paulo, in Brazil. And while doing that, I attended cooking school. And it's a school called Vilma Covesi. It's a lovely place. And I did a year-long cooking course there, and I left a little before finishing to move overseas. So that was always my passion, and I think it started in my teens, mostly from my grandmothers, a lot of inspiration there. But that was my passion. And then I stayed home with my kids after I had children for quite a few years. And then my kids attended a lovely preschool. It's a co-op school called Valley Drive here in the area. And there's a lot of parental involvement. So I really fell in love with just being with children and working with children. So when I decided to get back to work, I wanted to do something with kids and also join my passion for cooking. So that's how Cooking with Kids came about. And that was I started writing a little cooking blog before that, but in 2017, I started my classes. So it's been about 3 years.
Okay. That's great. Well, cooking obviously is such a passion, and when you can, you do it for fun is great, but when you can do it and make a living out of it and turn it into a career, that's just fantastic.
Right. Yeah, I feel very fortunate that I was able to explore that passion. and also be with my kids and include that in the process. So most of my classes are here where you see this cooking studio in my home. It's a separate room from my house, and that's mostly where I have classes and hold all the prep work. And then we also go to my kitchen for the oven and the stove. I also have a lot of cooktops here. And then I also, before the pandemic, I was teaching at my local Montessori school after school, and also at the beloved Bon Vivant Cafe that is now closed in Delray, and in private homes and events.
Oh,
yeah.
So, well, hopefully you'll get to be able to slowly resume some of those activities,
right.
And especially in cooking people's homes. That might be kind of the first thing that you might be able to do before the big classes come back on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All learning how to adapt our businesses.
We sure are, aren't we? Tell me a little bit about how you chose the cooking with kids aspect of your business.
Right. So my goal and why I think we should do that is I really think there's a value in it, not just for one individual, but for society. I think we should teach this next generation how to eat well and how to it's little habits that we're instilling in children from an early age. So I teach kids as young as 3, so 3 all the way to adults. So people say, but what can they do at age 3, right? So at that age, you're working with fine motor skills, right? So that's what you're doing. A lot of preschools involve cooking activities as well. So, but why is because the earlier you start, the earlier you're introducing them to different foods and different ingredients and being less afraid to trying something new, right? And so I'm spilling all the secrets to why I did this to my daughter, right? She knows. But,
well, I think she seems to be a big fan already, so I think you're okay.
But I think starting early is because it's easier. Sometimes I think younger children are more open to trying things.
Sure.
Right? So I think the earlier we start, the easier it is to form those habits. So I think you're not only teaching a very valuable life skill that goes much beyond that class or that experience. It will go forever, right? They will know how to try something new or how to what other foods are available out there when they go out to a restaurant, right? So you're instilling, for me, the biggest thing is the health benefit is to open, the curiosity for trying different foods and for not being afraid, right? And their self-esteem and confidence, right? When we cook with kids, and for adults too, right? If you tackle a recipe that you're really afraid to do and you manage to do it, you feel accomplished, right?
Absolutely, so, yes.
Exactly. So there's the same for children, and that when they see that food fed their family, or not only themselves but someone else, immediately ate it. So there's a bigger sense of contributing to the family, or to contributing to feeding themselves too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And plus they're like, hey, I made this, and there's some pride in their work and in doing something and realizing that they can, work harder and make something a little bit better.
Right. Yeah. And they will, each time is different, you don't have to try to teach them everything at the same time. But here, when you're cooking, you're incorporating math and reading and, you're working together, right? You're cooperating. So here in a small group class, kids would be working together and learning how to share or to contribute or to take turns,
Sure.
Or, so they're doing a lot of things in a cooking class. There's geography. Where does that food come from? Where did tacos come from?
And that's a wonderful aspect. I have a question for Julia now. Julia, I hear that you and your brother have a little cooking lesson on YouTube. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. So my mom and I started doing it before e-learning started at my school, and it's fun. We just So usually, my brother joined in because he thought it would be fun, and so we cook. It's fun, and then when I'm in the videos, it's me here cooking the dishes, and I've cooked the hummus before here, and and then my mom is in the background just helping me out with the instructions if I forgot something or if I don't know. And it's very fun.
Yeah, I'm more the producer and sous chef and helper, and she runs this part. So it started as when this all started, the quarantine, e-learning took several weeks in our case to start. So we quickly started this project just to keep the kids engaged and doing something that is exciting and fun and trying something new and learning.
I was going to say, and educational. They were learning a lot. In addition to the cooking, they were learning a lot more about putting a production on and communicating, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, and we kept going. It's I think we have 8 videos, but we slowed down as the activities came back to ballet and piano. Everything came back to line. So we slowed down our little production here, but it certainly was a lovely thing for us to adapt into life at home.
Sure, definitely. No, that was really fantastic. And how was your transition from teaching in your studio to teaching online? Did that, everybody has been making the adjustment by going remotely, but I'm sure that was not without its challenges for your cooking classes.
Right. So I first thought, I guess a little naively, I thought it would be just a period of time and then I would quickly get back to it. But it just, when I realized that it was going to take a long time, then I decided to just, I'm sacrificing what I love the most, which is the interaction with the children, live here. But I quickly started receiving feedback from parents in writing and in phone calls and in reviews, just saying, I love this is working, So then when I get that feedback from the parents, I know that it's worth it and it's working and it's there are other benefits, right? So I think what changed for me is I'm not going places with my classes and I'm not having people here. But I am doing classes online. My kids are a lot, especially my younger one. She's in a lot of these classes too. She doesn't get tired of them. And then what changes is I send parents, when they sign up in my website, they already know what the ingredients are going to be. So they know if in 2 weeks or 1 week they're going to be able to make it. The last thing I would send people to a lot of supermarkets looking for things.
Yeah.
When they go on the website, they already know, and they think, I think I can get this in a week or not. And I try to choose recipes that are things that we can substitute or things that, you can skip or adapt. It's called now the quarantine cooking, right? You adapt everything. Yeah. So that's what's different. They see the ingredients before and they purchase themselves. And then they, when they buy the class, they already know. And then I send an email with a little bit of prep instructions before. So when they start the class, it goes smoothly without them running to find things in their kitchen. And after the class, I send them the recipe so they can repeat it. And you asked me a bit of differences. I noticed that what parents have told me is that they also are learning. Right.
Well, I was about to say, and the huge benefit, which, is that the parents, not only are they learning, but just spending that time where they're both students with their children, and they're kind of parenting, but they're also a student along with their children and they're your students. And I think that's a wonderful kind of new dynamic for them.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of us are cooking a lot more now, right? A lot more meals, a lot of more home cooking, which is good for our health, not so good for the restaurants. But parents are already going to do that job anyways, right? So a lot of times if they have a bit of time, usually the classes are short as well. They're about 1 hour. Some classes are an hour and a half. And usually when they are doing that, they end up doing something they had to do, but they're doing with their kids, and they're not being the ones directing the child on what to do. One of the moms wrote to me saying, I had never pureed soup before. That was new for me. And she's like, now I know. So I have a feeling that people are going to cook those recipes over more than they would if just the child was attending.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're just not looking just at the recipe. They are doing it themselves. So I think that it's more likely that they're going to take the benefit of home cooking into their families more. So there's a plus. There are a few benefits,
Yeah, I think that's I think that's great. Plus, just the shared, action of doing it with their children, and they can, maybe pass some of it off and have a little more help and cooperation in the kitchen, which we all like to have.
Yeah, that's here too. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you have planned for the summer for Together We Cook?
So for the summer, and it's so, it's I think a lot of the businesses are like basically planning, weeks at a time, right? Nobody really know how things are going to go. So we have an idea, but I guess personal plans, business plans, everybody is just planning. I've basically been planning since March, like 2 weeks at a time. So I don't plan too much because nobody knows how things are going to go or anything. So what I do have this next couple of weeks, I have classes available for our younger kids and older kids. And I always suggest that there's an adult in there because I'm not able to evaluate how independent your child is. So there's always a parent there. And then what I've been noticing is the class is geared to the kids, but there are some adults that can join in. I welcome anybody. And the classes, some of the classes are more for younger kids, so I'm talking to them, with the language and the type of things we're doing are more to how to measure and everything. And then I read a food-related book for them, which is lovely too as we eat our food. And then for the older kids, I'm talking as much as I would be teaching an adult or anybody else to cook, right? Mm-hmm. For the summer, I'm going to try to continue offering single classes like that, which have been, very enjoyed, and I got some good feedback for that. And also, and I was talking to another friend. We're thinking about how to do summer camps in a way that is enjoyable for people now, because in the past, it would be like a week long or 4 days in a row for 3 hours at a time. And now I don't want my kids or your kids or anybody's kids to be for 3 hours engaged in this. So it's more difficult, right? So I'm trying to, it's probably going to be in a similar format than my classes. So maybe an hour and a half, close to 2 hours. But, when we have a slower pace so that we're just enjoying, but I'm going to try, I was talking to a friend of other things we can do. Maybe the summer camp will incorporate some something. You can now collaborate with businesses from far away. We're thinking outside the box now, I think a lot of people are. So I'm still going to finalize details, but I'm thinking of offering, I asked the parents that of my students, what would be helpful for you? And a lot of parents said, weekly classes are still something they're interested in because since it requires a parent, not everybody's, interested in doing it every day, right? For like a week at a time. So I think we're going to test a couple of formats, see what there's more interest, but that we'll be offering classes during the summer, probably sessions of 4 classes at a time, once a week. And then incorporate how you make that child travel to that country or, and eat that food or do some other related activity related to food. So, there's a lot of creativity.
The options are just endless, and there's so many different ways that you can tie in, as you said, with it'll be really interesting to see all the different plans that you have. And if anybody is watching this and they want to find out how to access Mari's classes, you can just go to the website, which is togetherwecookva.com. And I think that website is up on the screen. But Mari, let's get down to the pudding for today. What are we making today?
So we're making green hummus, and the reason why I like making this, why I chose this recipe is because it's something that is very, very versatile, and it's great for quarantine cooking because you can adapt to whatever herbs and greens that you have at home. And if you don't have greens right now, you can just make a simple hummus recipe. And here's my youngest assistant joining us. You have a chair over here.
Hi, Cecilia. How are you?
Come say hi. All right. Have you had kids in your show before?
No, these guys are the debut. They're the debut, 21 and under.
Cecilia, how old are you? 4.
4. That's a great age.
We're going to get started. But before you put the chickpeas in there, I was just telling Susan that green hummus I chose because I always like to choose something that we can substitute and adapt at home right now. But also it's fun to make, right? It uses tools and the food processor. And it's very nutritious. You know, it's a good source of protein. And when I'm telling the kids in the class, you know, as parents, sometimes we say it's good for you, it's healthy, but they want to know why, actually, right? So what is it good for you for? So Cecilia stopped drinking milk the other day until I told her it's good for your bones. You know, your bones are to be strong. So I think if they make it an action, like, why is it good? What does it mean it's protein, right? It's good for your muscles. It's good for you to go.
And they want to know those details. They don't want to hear good job. They want to hear that was a good job because your penmanship was very good, and I could see exactly what you wrote. You know, they want everybody likes detailed feedback.
Exactly. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Parents do drink milk too.
I drink milk, Cecilia.
Yeah. See. So she did raise a good point. Like sometimes if your child is not,
you don't drink milk.
I eat yogurt a lot. It's kind of similar. So if you model the behavior, the child is more likely to do it, right? So if they see that you're enjoying hummus, or that you make a beautiful platter of veggies and hummus and you enjoy it, they're more likely to want to try it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that they prepare is like they're a lot closer to trying it because they feel like they did it. So let's get started. So Cece, I already drained the chickpeas here. I had a can of chickpeas and I already drained. I did keep the liquid for the chickpeas so we can thin the hummus out with a little bit of that in the end if we need to. So
that's a great idea to not throwing it away and to kind of use the liquid that it comes in.
It has the nutrients in there too from the legumes.
That's right.
So we're going to put the chickpeas in the blender, and so my choice of tasks here were more according to their age and their skills, right? So for Cecilia, she's gonna measure, pour, and tear things with her hands, squeeze the lemon with my help, and then for Julia, she's gonna use the knife, and usually at home. I usually have 3 types of knives, but parents don't really need to buy any special equipment or anything. They can.
I like the chef's knife.
They can really cook with the things that they have at home, the knives that they have. I have just knives because I usually work with more than 1 children, so I have children.
Gotcha.
All right.
I want this one.
Only when it's your turn. So you're going to start by pouring the chickpeas in there. Can you stand on the stool?
By myself.
By yourself. So the height is very important. So make sure you have a stool or a chair or something that your child can. The whole can, everything. You can pour it in there.
That's a good question, Cecilia.
Very good question. And, you can also tear the basil. I'm using basil, a little spinach, and chives. So it's about a cup of greens, of veggies. You could use spinach or the avocado will help it too.
They're fruits.
Yeah, so you can use tarragon or cilantro, parsley, other herbs that you have. We're using. So she's just gonna keep tearing with her fingers a little bit to make it smaller before I put in there. not super necessary, but helpful and entertaining.
It's a task, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's another tip for parents. Sometimes they think, how do you cook with kids? Like, I can't, she's 4 and stuff. So a tip is that you don't have to have the child execute the whole recipe. You can think of one step or one task or a little thing that she can do. Wash the potatoes or peel the carrot. She's doing one thing while you're doing things that are more
absolutely.
So cooking doesn't mean from beginning to end necessarily. It could be help planning or help choosing from a cookbook what looks pretty. One day
help you making the list of ingredients, or what other tools do we need?
You can. So one time you can put all of them in there. One time Julia looked at a cookbook and I asked, what are you going to choose to make? You can choose anything. And she chose a dish that had Brussels sprouts on it because she thought it was pretty. So you would be surprised, if you let the kids just have say and choice in what we're doing, right?
And now I like Brussels sprouts and I used to not.
Right. And that's something I hear in the classes a lot. It's like, oh, I'm not sure my child's going to eat that. Or the child says, I'm going to make it, but I'm not going to like it. And there's no pressure. And, nobody be in a embarrassing situation or anything like that. There's no pressure here. And there shouldn't be a pressure at home either. You can say you can try. And if you don't like it, it's okay. But
just try it. Just take a bite of it. Just try it.
It helps. You can cut the avocado.
Mommy, this is enough.
No, we're going to put all of it. And you can squeeze the lemon in there too.
Why?
So Julia's going to tell me which avocado should we use and why. Which one do you think we should use and why? Which one is riper?
I think that this one is more ripe. It seems it's because it's softer, and sometimes it can be because of the color.
It's a little darker too, right? So make your tunnel with your hands. Make it safe. So we always cut on the cutting board, never on our hands, right? Turn it around. So Cece, you're putting the herbs there. I'm gonna measure our tahini here. So tahini for a child is like, what is that, right? So I like to show them that it is sesame seed paste, right? So do you want to taste it? This is what it's like. It's cute. It's fun. It's delicious, right?
Something new and different.
Right. So if you give them tahini paste, maybe explain what it is. It could be with a picture, or it could be.
Mom, when I'm done putting on in the basil.
Right. Yeah. So you can just turn the whole thing in there, and then it's going to be a little faster. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Here's the avocado.
You have the avocado? All right, girl. Done? Okay, so we're going to measure the tahini now, see? So it's going to be a 1/4 cup. And tahini really has kind of a strong flavor for kids. So I'm using a 1/4 cup. You can use more. And that's why I like to use the avocado, because the avocado has a more mild flavor and that creamy texture and not as strong for kids.
Yes.
So Cici, can you stand up in there to help? She asked why it's called tahini. I'm not sure why it's called tahini, but it means sesame paste, sesame seed paste, like these seeds here, the paste. So Julia, you can chop the chives while, so that's what cooking with more than one child looks like as well. So you're giving, use this knife here, the chef's knife works better, and do your chopping motion, the tip of the knife back and forth with the handle. You may want to stand up to control your movements better. So we're going to pour the tahini. So one hand holds. You don't want to pour the tahini? Do you want to squeeze the lemon? Oh, much more fun, right, for you. All right.
Mari, you're a master at this. You're so calm, cool, and collected, and everybody's got their charter. I love it.
Right. And and for you at home, for me, this is my passion. Maybe some people don't like cooking. So how do they do that? Just do it more manageable. Don't get something complicated, or you're maybe just assemble some things together. That's cooking, right? Or I think lower your expectations.
I think that's really good advice. Yes. Yeah.
So lower expectations for you, for your child, and and take the pressure off of yourself as a parent. It's not perfect. It's crazy.
And it makes it more fun. You know, the pressure takes all the fun away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you mentioned something really important.
Mom, I did the whole thing.
You did the whole thing. Good job. So the fun part is important. So as much as we try to eat meals as a family on the table, in the kitchen, it should be more like a fun thing than a chore, you know? Yeah. So it is a chore. We all know we got to cook it. We got to get it done. But if you try to make it last perfect and let that controlling thing that we have, you know, just let go a little bit and make it last perfect and make it, you know, whatever, you know, what happens. Yep. Should get done, gets done. Mm-hmm. We plan for something, but we're going to adapt.
Yep.
Would you pour this for me, the tahini? Thank you. So I think lowering the expectations is, and another important tip, thank you, Julia, that looks great. You want to put it in there? And Cece, you can squeeze the avocado when you're done with tahini. You're just squeezing. So she could scoop it out, but for a younger child or for anybody, you can just squeeze it in there. So squeeze it in there. Squeeze with both hands. Yeah, you can pour the chives in there. So growing food is a good tip, right? Have a little herb garden there going, or some cucumbers or whatever. This year I barely did any because I wasn't really going out.
Anything that's green.
Anything that's green. We can experiment with different greens, right? And we are making a green hummus. So yeah, Julie's going to do the garlic now. And Cece can do the salt. So which knife?
I think
we also have lemon. So you can use this one. So she's going to cut the end part of the garlic. And then she's going to do our trick. Hey, she forgets that she's in a camera and you can see her eating the salt. Pretty funny. Right. I told her I have eyes in my back. I can see what she's doing. All right. Oh, you're putting a pinch? Okay. Yeah, you can explain to me, Susan, how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you put the garlic down.
Talk louder so she can hear you.
You put the garlic down, you place the knife on top. Well, first you cut off the edges, then you put it down. Place the knife on top and slam your hand on the knife. And then
That's the fun part, to slam it down. Carefully, of course, when you're slamming on top of a knife.
Right, because that just loosens the skin and makes it easier for us, right? So you can finish squeezing this one. So what I've put there so far, the chickpeas, the avocado, half of an avocado we used. Julia is going to, do you want to chop it up a little bit?
yeah.
We're going to do.
Ready for the next one.
Okay, so we put lemon. We squeezed one large lemon, and I think Susan's going to make the recipe available later.
Yes, we'll have the recipe up on the comment section, I believe, on the Facebook page.
I don't expect anybody to follow what happened here right now, right? We're also going to put, I put a little bit of garlic because I can always add more for the kids. Take it off. And salt, we just put half of a teaspoon, and you can start with even less and then adjust. Just 1 minute. You can drink from mine. And then we're going to do the liquids now. So we're going to blitz everything in there in the food processor. Such a good mom. I had water. Isn't that great?
You are a good mom. You got it all going on, Mari, I got to say. And Julia is doing a beautiful job with her knife skills in cutting that garlic up as well.
Yeah,
Julia, you look like a pro. You really do.
Thank you.
So Julia, thank you.
You're welcome.
Did most of the job. So we're going to do about half of that because we can always, actually, let's see. Let's add half of that. We can always add more, okay?
Mom,
what?
More lemon.
Mommy can get it with us. More lemon? Why don't we put the cap on while Julia puts the garlic, and then we're going to make the magic happen for you.
It looks very green.
It looks very green? All right.
That's good. It's green hummus. It's supposed to be green, right?
That's what we're going for. All right, Cece, ready to make it loud? Press over here. Press the high.
This one?
Yep. Go, girl.
Feel free to plug your ears.
Plug your ear.
This might be loud.
Yeah.
Not yet. All right.
that noise.
So we're crushing first, and then we're gonna get a spatula and scrape the sides so that we make sure everything gets crushed. And you know, they're not making it. They're not like my students. They're not making it over there.
Well, Cecilia, I actually did make this earlier this afternoon.
Well, we're telling you something.
And I had a substitute. I didn't have parsley, so I substituted arugula. I put arugula and spinach and basil in mine with the avocado and the lemon and the garlic and the tahini.
So Miss made hers, and she's gonna show it to you in a little bit, okay? So let's drizzle. So we crushed everything perfect. And if we weren't on the camera right now, I would probably crush it a little slower, adding ingredients. Right now, we're gonna do it a little faster. And if you want a really creamy hummus, you would peel those chickpeas before. But
yeah,
not something you want to do with 2 kids in a camera.
No.
All right, let's drizzle. We're gonna drizzle over there.
Mom, it's gonna be so sweet.
It's gonna be loud, right?
You can hear it. You can hear it when the liquid goes in there. And it looks like I'm seeing you pouring a little bit of the reserved liquid from the can, Mari.
All right. So now we had it's still pretty thick. So I added 2 tablespoons of oil, olive oil, more for the flavor. And now I'm gonna thin it out. I'm gonna scrape the sides one more time. Julie, you wanna scrape it?
Yeah. No, I want.
Oh, of course. So maybe you can both do it one at a time. And then we're gonna thin it out a little bit, make it creamier and smoother with the liquid from the chickpeas.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels pretty thick, right?
And I turn the spatula out.
All right, see. So
I'm gonna see how it tastes.
hold on, not yet. I know you want to taste it. And ready? You want to drizzle?
How long do you keep it running for to get it to be this? 30 seconds. Do you let it run for after you've put everything in?
Yeah. So you would do like maybe a minute, I think.
Okay.
And mine is not super thin. I would add a bit more and blitz a bit more, but it is chunky and delicious too. So you can do it according to your taste, right?
Sure. And everybody likes it a little bit thinner or thicker.
Right.
Maybe we make it thinner.
She wants it thinner. Why don't we finish making thinner later? I want to show Susan how you know if it's good. How do you know if it tastes good?
You
You taste it. So I
You
think
stick your finger in there, right?
right. It's exciting for the kids to be part of that process of deciding if it's good or not, or why can how do you make it better? And because they're owning it, they're making it, right?
They are.
So what do you think?
It looks like they've done this before.
So do you think it tastes good? Do you think it needs more salt, more liquid? What do you think?
I think it's chunky and it needs a little more salt.
More salt? I think it's salty. Ooh.
What? I love salt.
She does. Well, that is a good point. Kids always think it needs more salt, right?
Uh-huh.
So, so for that, I don't believe them because I think it tastes different. But if they like a little thinner, we can do it. But what Cece really likes to do is, and which is another fun part of cooking, is using your creativity and making it pretty, right? So I always like to tell my students that we eat with You want to taste it again? Did you get a new spoon?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we say is that we eat with our eyes first.
Taste it again too.
Yes, we absolutely do eat with our eyes first.
Yeah, we eat with our eyes first. So we're gonna make it pretty however pretty is for you. Pretty for the kids is different than what's pretty for me. So we can make however pretty it is. Whoops, double dipping. And that's okay for a 4-year-old. So there was a good question, like how long does hummus last in the refrigerator? So it would last about a week, in the refrigerator. Usually the recipe I'm going to share with you, our family eats in a sitting, it's as a side dish. Just a minute, Mommy's talking to you. You could eat as a side dish. You could eat on wraps. You could eat on a grain bowl. You could eat in so many ways, right? You can eat as a snack in the afternoon. We eat a lot as a snack. So you can do a lot with it in sandwiches. So my family usually goes in one sitting. A family of 5 eats this, and we're kind of light eaters. But we could do as well, which I don't do it, but and I've never done, but I know you can do, is you can freeze it. So if you double your portion, make a double batch, you could freeze in a container, a glass container sealed. And just you have another, complement to a meal or a snack another day.
It's never lasted long enough in our house to freeze it. So, but I didn't know that you could do that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and I don't do that. I don't do a ton of batch cooking because I work from home and I love cooking. So I do some cooking and some smart doubling things, like cook double the rice or double the beans, and just opportunity batch cooking. But I don't really I don't think hummus is so quick and easy that I don't really feel like I need to freeze it. But it is a good idea for people that are viewers. Well, Cece's gonna decorate like she wanted. Well, Miss Susan is waiting for us to decorate, so let's do that. What?
It needs a little more salt.
More salt? It's plenty.
You can always put salt on your own portion, Julia, if that's what you prefer.
It's a great suggestion. You could add salt on your portion.
But it won't be next.
All right. So, Cece, Mama's going to put it here, and I'm going to tell our listeners how they could do this, but you do your own way, okay? You can help her.
Just put it on the surface.
So what I would do is I would put it in a shallow bowl, and let me just show Miss Susan how I would do, and then you do it. And then I would drizzle a little olive oil, sprinkle a little bit more herbs. Just 1 minute. And then also like pepitas, or sesame seeds that make it really. And the kids like to make something creative with it.
That's enough.
So both of you can work together to make it quickly something pretty. All right. So I think this takes like seconds to do, and they're happy with their right?
Well, and they're busy and their creative juices are flowing. You can see how engaged they are. I mean, that's fantastic. It's a wonderful demonstration in so many levels.
Likely to eat it because they made it pretty and they made it appealing, right? So we forget that what's pretty for us not necessarily is pretty for them, right?
Yeah. And I have to say, when I made it today, and of course I don't have it here, I left it in my refrigerator, but the avocado, boy, that adds such a wonderful creaminess to it, and the fresh herbs added such a flavor. I don't think I'll ever make plain hummus again. It was really nice to kind of try something new.
Yeah, and you're adding healthy fats, right? Which is great for the brain. It's great for adding to everybody's diet. So I think it's just more nutrition and the creaminess without adding more tahini that for kids could be a little strong.
Yep, so, absolutely.
How I choose my recipes is usually researching online, but then adapting that to what what kids' palates are more used to.
A little bit more mild, yeah. And I noticed that this recipe you had adapted from Cookie and Kate, I think.
Right, and also from a recipe from Bon Appetit as well, right?
Oh, I was going to say, I love Cookie and Kate. That website has fabulous recipes, and Bon Appetit, of course.
She does have great recipes. And I'm not sure if she's just plant-based or vegetarian. I'm not sure. But we do cook mostly vegetarian meals, but also some meat. My son is vegetarian and he's been for a few years. So I think that brought our whole family to eat less meat overall. But I am from Brazil. I still love meat.
Yes, that's right. Brazilians do. That looks very pretty.
So let's show. Are you girls ready to show everybody?
Not quite done.
Are you letting your sister have a say in it too? Okay. So yeah, so good tip for decorating. Make each of them decorate their own plate. Otherwise, you may have to like cut the show.
Yeah.
All right, let's show them what you guys created. Last time she created a kitty cat with eyes and face and everything.
I love that.
This time you both created
Can we
this
go up
one.
to the screen and show?
I'm not sure if you need to go close to the screen. How
Can
about
we?
go over there? I'll give it to you. All right, so this is what it looks like.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Yeah, so that's how they did it.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Julia. Yeah, that looks very nice.
Yeah, so
And it looks delicious, and it's very handy to have all those. It's all edible, so it's easy to pick up, and you have the dip right on there.
and each time they make it, it looks different, and it looks something to look forward to,
And
right?
each one's unique.
Yeah.
And each one is unique. That's exactly right.
You can take this on a picnic. I usually, back when I would send a lot of hummus and lunch boxes, now we do, if we go for a walk or if we go to a backyard picnic or if we go for a bike ride or something, you can put it in a little container or you can bring some veggies and things, Usually people help me chop and peel carrots and stuff, but I did it before
I
for
love peeling.
our
Yeah.
So
Yep. Everybody likes to do that.
definitely something that I think people will do over and over and have fun with.
Yeah, I think so too. Mari, thank you so much. This was really a wonderful demonstration. I loved watching you with your girls and cooking together. Obviously, you're so patient and teaching them such wonderful life skills in the kitchen. And Julia and Cecilia, you guys really were wonderful to watch. Thank you so much for sharing your mom with us and taking the time to show us this wonderful dish. We can't, I'm going to go eat mine as soon as we're done with you here. So thank you again for coming on the show, Mari. And if anybody is interested in Mari's cooking lessons or classes, it's togetherwecookva.com. So was there anything else you wanted to add to the show, Mari?
Did you want to say something? She said she wanted to say something to you. What is it?
You are going to show your hummus that you made.
Well, you know what? It's all the way over in my refrigerator, my kitchen, and been texting my husband, but nobody's home to go get it for me. So, but you know what? Maybe I'll send you a picture to your mom, and she can show you. Okay?
I'm sure she would like that. But yeah. My message is, cook at home and take the pressure off and just try to relax a little bit. I think we're at time, Julia. I think these two could talk to you forever, but I think it's time to wrap up.
Maybe we can come back another time and hear what Julia has to say.
We're at time, okay?
Okay, terrific. All right, girls, thank you so much, Mari. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, Julia. Bye, Cecilia. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that was wonderful. Wow, that was really a lot of activity going on. And Mari just really has a wonderful command of the kitchen and obviously very passionate about what she does. And that was really enjoyable watching that. And I can tell you that hummus is delicious. So if you get the recipe online or send us an email, we can certainly send you the recipe or go to Mari's website for it, togetherwecookva.com, because that was just really super delicious. And it's been a long show tonight, so thanks everybody for hanging in there. And Thank you, David McClure, our executive producer, for all you've done. It was wonderful to have Mary Wadland here tonight. It was just a chock-full show of lots of good things all wrapped up. So I would like to say Steve Hauk will be here Monday night with his Music on Monday show. And we'll be back next week also. I believe Ralph Peluso will be here on Tuesday. And we'll have some restaurant shows Wednesday and Thursday. So stay tuned for more information on that. And have a great weekend coming up. And as much as you can this weekend, be the good news in someone's life.